to the financial reports for March 2023.
All right. So this is under 2, tab A. On the first page there, you can see that on March 30th, we did receive our next significant portion of our ad valorem funding. This puts us at receiving 96.8% of what we had budgeted for the year. We still have not received another state revenue sharing payment. We do get 3 equal payments. We're expecting one probably in June, Miss Debbie, around about June or July is the second one, and then we'll get the third one in the fall. So if you would turn to page 4, you can see the statement of revenues and expenditures. When you're talking about March 31st, it is the first quarter of the year, so the percentage that you're looking at or looking for is 25%. The first 2 lines there, the ad valorem taxes and the state revenue sharing, again, that's credited to us in 12ths, but as I showed you on the first page, what we had actually received in the bank. Fines and fees, right where I expect it to be. Interest income, even after we amended the budget at the beginning of the year, interest still is outpacing my predictions. So we will amend that when we amend the budget again, probably this summer. And we have more summer reading t-shirt sales than expected, so we have a little more funding there. As far as expenditures, overall expenditures are at 27%, so that's just 2% off of 25. But you would get more out of the details themselves. So if you'll turn to page 7. So first of all, library salaries right where we expect them to be at 25, just under 25%. We've had a 3-paycheck month last month. When looking at employee benefits, Health Trust is at 35%, and that's because we get some runover from the beginning of the year. Things that happen in December that we don't pay for until January and March. But that evens out as we go throughout the year. Workers' compensation, we've made our payment for the year, and so at this point, we're just waiting to see if there's going to be any charge after the workers' compensation audit. Under advertising, dues, and subscriptions, publications of legal notices, our minutes continue to be very lengthy, and that's why that's at 60%, but when we amend the budget in June, we will fix that. If you go to page 8, under utilities, gas at 45%, that's because we're coming out of winter time. It's not going to get as much use during the summer. It'll even itself out. Looking further down the page under maintenance of property and equipment, vehicle repairs, we had 2 vehicles that received tires and a new starter, which is why that is at 58%. Office machine and equipment repair, we did some repairing of our DVD cleaners. And then, let's see these lines, network utility software, and Polaris maintenance, those all have to do with our subscriptions. So those bills are just due when they're due. They're not a monthly bill. And PC network maintenance and repair, we purchased some hardware repair supplies. So that is the reason why that is at 60%. If you're looking under maintenance of services and buildings, when you talk about physical plant maintenance, plumbing, heating, and AC, and electrical, maintenance likes to get ahead of summer reading, so they do a little bit more in the months leading up to summer reading, because once June happens, it's just not easy to get round and about everything that's going on. If you go to page 9, under professional services, web design consultant, that is at 87% because we paid for the majority of the cost of our website at this point. Under insurance and claims, a lot of those are at higher percentages just because of when the bill comes due for the year. And then library property insurance is 0 because we have not received our bill from the parish yet. Looking further down the page, travel and continuing education, library in-service training is at 55%, and the reason for that is the Ozobot training that we received, but the Library Foundation agreed to fund that for us, so we will be amending that when we do the budget amendment in the summer. You go to page 10, under juvenile programming, similarly, that's at 93%, but that is because of the cost of the Ozobots that we purchased. And we will, and that's being sponsored by the Library Foundation, so we will adjust that. And then the LEH grant is only for a short amount of time. I don't believe that we're done yet. I think we have at least another session, and that's when all of that will be paid for the year. And then capital outlay non-book acquisitions, PC network is at 86% because we bought the majority of our computers for replacement for the year. And then under capital outlay library resource acquisition, lease purchase books, we've finished paying for our leases for the year. And then some of the other ones like microfilm and internet database subscriptions, it's just all depends on when the bill comes due. It only comes due once a year for the different subscriptions. So, and we have quite a few that come at the beginning of the year. Those were the lines that stood out to me, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have about any specific lines.
Do any board members have any questions concerning the financial reports ending March 31? If not, do we have any public comment